Hello and welcome back to my podcast. I am More Than Enough, hosted by me, Elvis Kabiruka. Thank you very much for making time to be here with me today. Thank you. So in today's episode, I want to do something a little different. In previous episodes, I've had interviews, I've had dedicated podcasters sharing my testimony and sharing the different tools that I've learned along the way on this journey to sobriety and mental health. Because as I shared, the intention for this podcast isn't just about sobriety, but it's all overall about well-being, which includes mental health, spirituality, just overall wholeness is my aim and my goal, and my goal personally too in life. So I wanted to share something that has helped me immensely. It's this little tiny book called The 4 Agreements. Man, oh man, do I love this book. This book, it's The 4 Agreements. It's by Don Miguel Ruiz. So yeah, I love this book so much that I decided to just start gifting it to people, because giving gift cards started becoming boring, because I love to give gifts. I love when it's someone's birthday, just the excitement and hopefully a little gift that you can give to someone or words you can share with them to let them know they're special, they matter, and their presence in our lives, in our planet matters. So that's why I felt giving this book was like giving a little piece of myself, because I probably have had it for, I think, 8 to 10 years and continuously go back to it. So it's something that I felt genuine to share, and that's why I want to share it with you. And I'm hoping it can inspire, spark, motivate, help you get out of a rut or any confusion, or just brighten your world a little bit different, because for me, at least, it helped reframe my life, helped reframe how I see things, helped reframe how I talk to myself, helped reframe my intentionality to life, and added to that peace that I'm seeking, added to that peace and that less confusion and clutter in my mind. So that's what I'm hoping this book can bring for you today, and hopefully start something in your life. And if you find it, it connects with you or inspires you, please feel free to share it with someone, because I truly think this book can make a world of difference in so many people's lives by just following these simple 4 agreements. So if you can stick with me for a little bit, I'm going to dive into the book, go into the 4 agreements, and then practical ways to apply them. And at the end of the book, I want to go over the prayers. There's a prayer at the end of the book, which is one of the bigger reasons why I love this book. It has some amazing, intimate, simple, just wholesome prayers that you can have, that you can meditate to. You can, if you're closing your eyes on Audible, for example, if you just want to read it out as a prayer, it's just fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. So if you please be patient with me, let's dive in. Before we jump into the book, I wanted to highlight the introduction of the book, the first part of this book, because I don't believe it's in the audiobook. So I wanted to just do a quick summary about it, because it explains and where this philosophy and these agreements came from. So the 4 Agreements book is an inspiration by an ancient civilization that Don Miguel Ruiz highlights, known as the Toltecs. So the Toltecs are an ancient civilization that were in Mexico and were very, very advanced, whether it's in the writing, their thinking, their philosophies, their structures. They were very, very advanced. And in more ways than actually than a lot of the European civilizations, but just that information, unfortunately, isn't around. And they considered themselves philosophers and spiritual warriors to the mind. And that was the uniqueness about the Toltecs. So understanding the spiritual aspect, understanding also that there is a creator, and understanding that for us to harmonize and to have a best existence, the biggest battles and the challenges that we have are right here in the mind. So that's why I keep echoing the word spiritual warriors, because they know the wars are here. Because a lot of times, I think to everyone, is you always feel as though there's 2 forces pulling you. It's usually your ego and your highest voice that's telling you what to do, but it always feels like there's a tag. And something intimate too that they highlight is a word they call domestication. So domestication, the way Don Miguel Ruiz highlights it, is the process in which a child is born pure and comes into the world and is basically domesticated or is taught on how to be and how to behave throughout the world, be it from parents, be it through teachers, be it through society, and all the different ways a child grows and is informed on who they should be. So Don Miguel challenges that. Not that everything we've learned is bad, absolutely not. But at times, the agreements and things we've taken on for so long no longer serve us and are actually hurting us. So in that case, you need to renew your agreements. And so what the Toltecs do with, along with the 4 agreements, is to simplify it, to simplify a lot of the agreements that we have with our mind with these 4 simple agreements. And if you follow these simple 4 agreements, they can absolutely reshape your life in more ways than you can imagine. And I'm a testimony to it. I've experienced it, and I continuously experience it as I go back to this book. So it is quite profound. And so in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to go over the different 4 agreements, explain them to you, and explain the different ways and share examples and practical ways on how you can use them and hopefully start seeing a difference in your life today. The first agreement: be impeccable with your word. So everything starts from here. This agreement kicks off everything. The word impeccable means without sin. Now, without sin is not in the religious form, but it means not to go against yourself. Basically, do not speak against yourself, because your voice is powerful. Your voice not only affects you internally, but also externally. So when you say, for example, I am not, oh my God, I'm not smart. When you say I am old, when you say I am not capable, when you say I struggle with etc., I am lazy, you are affirming those words. You are creating that. And that's because words influence your nervous system. So that the idea or the lie that words cannot break my bones is absolutely not true. Your mind does not know the difference. See, that repetition becomes your reality. The other way you can go against yourself and hurt yourself is gossiping. See, gossiping, you think you're only talking about other people, and it's harmless, it's fun, it's in jest. But the truth is that you're spreading emotional poison not only within yourself, but also to the other person that you're gossiping with. So instead of using the word against yourself, how about you use your word to speak truth, to speak love, to bring clarity? How about you use your word to bring love to yourself and to others? Because the science behind it is quite profound. The more you say things, the more you repeat things, the more they become ingrained to your nervous system. The more you repeat an action, it becomes ingrained to your system. And the more you repeat these things, these actions, they become habits. And before you know it, you start to become that person, because we are what we do. The more you repeat something that you're doing, the more you're becoming that thing. So having that knowledge, then stop for a second, step back. In the book, there's a story that Don Miguel Ruiz shares of this little girl who's at home singing, just having a good old time. And the mom comes home. The mom comes home tired with a migraine and is just not in the mood to listen to noise, especially because she's having a migraine. And she gently tells her daughter to keep quiet, but the daughter does not hear her. The daughter keeps singing. And just out of frustration tells her daughter to just shut up. You'll never amount to anything. Anyways, you don't have a good voice. And that jabs the daughter deep. And that daughter, that kid, takes that agreement to be true, that they will never be a good singer and they don't have a good voice and they should not even sing. And when people sing, she shies, she hides away. And it starts affecting her confidence because she does not even believe that she could ever amount to becoming a singer, no matter how many times she's been told that she's an amazing singer. See, words are creative. Words are creative power. So be careful with the words that you use. Words are not just things that we can throw around. Words have started wars. Words have ended wars. So be impeccable with your word. And ways one can practice to be impeccable with their word is be mindful and try to be aware of the words that you're saying. Take a breath. Be intentional with the words that you're about to say. Knowing that the words you're about to say could affect you or could affect the other person. So be clear, speak with clarity to avoid confusion, and avoid speaking negatively about yourself or about other people. Speak words of love, speak words of truth, and above all, just stop gossiping. Just stop gossiping. Talking about other people doesn't help you, doesn't make you any better. It's just a way to make your ego feel better, but it doesn't. You're simply just spewing emotional poison into yourself and into the other person. Because guess what? You keep repeating these bad habits over and over again. So being impeccable with your words is not about being perfect, but it's about being intentional. The second agreement, don't take things personally. So with this one agreement, you could change your life overnight. Because you're realizing that nothing anybody does is because of me. You don't take things personally. And understanding that whatever each single human being does is because of their own experiences, their traumas, their wounds, their realities. So a lot of times we make a mistake of taking things personally because we automatically think that it's about us. But if you stop for a second, you realize that it was never about you. It's always about what that person is going through inside them. Because when you take things personally, you give your power away. You give your power away. So every insult becomes a trigger. Every compliment takes you to the moon, and you are just living in this up and down world. For example, you text someone, they don't reply, or they reply later. You quickly start to think, you start creating different scenarios and assuming it's because of something you may have done. The other scenario is a personal example is, I used to send people reels on Instagram. And when I didn't get a reaction, because I react to every reel. And if I don't, I feel bad because I want to, at least for me, I think it's validating the other person's message because I take it as you've shared something that you found that you enjoyed with me. So I'm going to acknowledge that. It's a way of saying thank you. So I will take it personally when I don't get a response. And I'm like, why didn't you respond to me? And it's weird, but it's those tiny things that we do, that where we take things personal that are not necessary. But most of the time you realize that it has nothing to do with whatever it is you're thinking. We forget people are busy just like we are in our lives. We forget people could have forgotten. We forget people get sick. We forget life happens. So realizing that what everyone does is absolutely based on their reality and not your own reality. It's based on their reality and how they shape and view the world. It has nothing to do with you. So the next time you find yourself taking things personally, pause for a second and ask yourself, is this about me? 2, do not attach yourself to opinions, good or bad. 3, try to avoid internalizing those emotions and holding on to them. And once you can, then come back to your center. The goal is to come back to your center. And the more you practice this, the easier it is But it's going to take practice for you not to take things personally. And the truth is, it's not going to change overnight. It's not going to change overnight. We've had our programming in our minds has happened for decades and decades based on how long you've been alive. So be patient with yourself and understand that, and be clear about the human programming. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens upon repetition, and, in a few words, just consistency. See, the beauty of it is, once you stop taking things personally, then no one can hurt you emotionally without you giving them permission. The third agreement: don't make assumptions. See, most conflict starts because of assumptions, not truth. And that's just the simpleness of it. You find that whenever there's a conflict, it's one person has a certain assumption, and they're so sure about that assumption. And they'll do everything possible to make that assumption true, to the point where it can even lead into a fight or something, just because they're so sure about that assumption. So in life, we make all kinds of assumptions. In relationships, we tend to assume that our partner can magically understand us without even saying a word. And we get frustrated at them because we're making assumptions that they should know us already. They should have things figured out. But that's not true. Nobody is easily a psychic. Yes, some psychics exist, but nobody is a psychic easily. So be gentle to your partner. The other way we make assumptions is assuming that someone is mad at you. You go to work, you see your coworker, he has a certain face, and like, oh, maybe he's mad at me for this thing I did. And your mind starts to fill that gap of trying to find the reason why he's mad at you. Or assuming someone is negative based on their tone. I tend to, at least I'm working on it, is when I'm having a conversation or a debate, my voice goes up and someone assumes I'm angry. I never knew that until I think I saw it on video or something, and I was like, oh man, I look angry. But the assumption, and the obvious assumption, would be that I'm angry. But to me, I am not angry. So it can be tricky, but it's about just realizing and having that awareness when you're having an assumption. See, the danger of making assumptions is when you make assumptions, you are triggering emotions in you, which then turn into a reaction. And then you're physically feeling uncomfortable. And then your mind then starts to wander. So it's like, then your nervous system is just up and down, and it just doesn't serve you. So it's really harming you. And when you step back and slow down for a little bit, because you're creating a fight or flight scenario in your mind, and it just doesn't serve you in any way to make assumptions, if you think about it on the scientific level. So with this one, it's quite simple. If you find yourself making an assumption, just have the courage to approach that person, approach someone, clarify. It's going to take practice, of course, because yes, in the past, I was used to just going to someone and confronting them. But now my intention is to seek understanding, not to confront them or to prove them wrong, but I want to understand them, just like I try to understand myself, which is a project in itself. So take time, have the courage to ask that person and bring clarity, and have the courage also to listen and not to hold on to your assumption. So with this agreement, honestly, you can change your life overnight. I truly believe that. The fourth agreement ties everything together. The fourth agreement: always do your best. Because if you don't always do your best, then it's going to be tough to practice these 4 agreements. See, your best is going to change from moment to moment. Some days you may wake up sick. Some days you may wake up hangover. Some days you may wake up depressed. But when you do your best, you're removing that guilt. You're removing that constant thinking of something you may have left behind. For example, if you're feeling 50% today, right? And you don't want to go to the gym, you can take that 50%, go on a bike, do something. But at least that day you won the day. You still worked out. So as opposed to just dismissing everything, Do your best. The reason why it's also very important to do your best, because it removes perfectionism. That idea of you gotta get things perfect, and if you don't do something well, you're constantly going over and over it. But as long as you've done your best that day, then you can rest and be at peace. And it removes comparison. You're not constantly comparing yourself to other people because you're choosing to do your ultimate best with whatever it is you have that day. And doing your best also builds a great habit, a habit of consistency. So you're being consistent to yourself. So it's really, really timely and something to really practice. By doing your best and remaining consistent as opposed to being intense, you build good habits. And as you continuously take action, do your best, guess what? You reduce your anxiety. You're not as anxious over your actions. You're not looking back or second guessing yourself if you actually did whatever you need to have to do. But as long as you do your best, then you leave nothing behind. And as you continuously building momentum. That momentum of doing your best will carry in everything that you're doing. Therefore, just applying in everything in your life. And that consistency will manifest and show up. So you ask yourself, so how can one practice always doing their best? It seems simple. I'm just going to do my best in whatever thing I do. But I think you need to bring some sort of structure to it. First, create goals, realistic goals. Don't make them too huge, but create goals. Have daily goals and allow yourself throughout the day to review those goals. At the end of the day, check those goals. See the progress, celebrate any progress that you've had, because that propels and gives you a momentum for the next day. The other thing too you can do about your goals is be gentle and kind to yourself when working on your goals. See, I used to struggle with, let's say I have 5 things set and I only do 2. But then I realized that's all the time allowed me to. And over time, you start to get wiser with what goals you want to do. But have something to look forward to, have something that you're working towards, and do your best in accomplishing that thing. And it starts opening up your mind to possibilities of what you can do. So a very simple thing one can do that I've learned is just waking up and making my bed. Making my bed honestly propels me to the day, and that's a consistent habit that I'm choosing to do. And then having my goals down for the day. And then at the end of the day, reviewing those goals and celebrating and picking up something I've learned from that day allows me to build that consistency. And even when I'm feeling like crap and I'm just feeling nothing and I just don't want to do it, I can have for the goal, I can have a walk, I can even make my bed or do something that I can check off and know that I've done my best and I've had something productive that day and not to judge myself. And I can rest. I can feel calm and I can feel at peace because I know I gave it my all. I gave it my best. The reality is your best will change from moment to moment. That's just the honest truth. Don't expect always be impeccable with your word, but just do your best. Don't expect to not take things personally, but just always do your best. Don't assume you won't make assumptions, just do your best. With all of it, it just comes down to doing your best. And by you doing your best, you've left nothing behind. There's nothing to regret. There's nothing to look out for. There's nothing to compare because you left it all there. So always do your best. You'll feel lighter in all your ways. So the 4 agreements, quite simple. But mastery of these agreements takes time. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. By continuously practicing these agreements and coming back to this book, I truly believe you can change your life. I truly believe you can experience heaven on earth. That peace that we seek by knowing these things, because that battles are within. If you fail, so what? Come back. Practice it. It's okay. That's how you affirming that agreement within you. You will find that your relationships will improve. You'll find that you'll have peace within yourself. You'll find your world becoming calmer, and the way your perception of the world less chaotic and less noisy. But it's going to take time, it's going to take patience and consistency. So if you feel this podcast, this book has touched you and inspired you, please share this with someone that it could help. And if you can stick around for a little bit, I wanted to do something a little different. As I mentioned in the beginning, there's some amazing prayers at the end of this book. And I wanted to do one with you guys, give you that opportunity to share this little beautiful prayer with me. And you can meditate, just sit, close your eyes, or just if you decide to pick up the book, feel free to look for that prayer as well. But I just wanted to share that with you. If you don't want to stick around, that's fine. If you want to come later and have an intimate moment just to come and meditate, I invite you to it because it's something I continuously go back to. And it's changed my praying life and how I pray and how connected I feel when I'm praying. So yeah, stick with me. Let's jump into it. Prayers. Please take a moment to close your eyes, open your heart, and feel all the love that comes from your heart. I want you to join with my words in your mind and in your heart to feel a very strong connection of love. Together, we're going to do a very special prayer to experience a communion with our Creator. Focus your attention on your lungs as if only your lungs exist. Feel the pleasure when your lungs expand to fulfill the biggest need of the human body, to breathe. Take a deep breath and feel the air as it fills your lungs. Feel how the air is nothing but love. Notice the connection between the air and the lungs, a connection of love. Expand your lungs with air until the body has the need to expel the air. And then exhale and feel the pleasure again. Because when we fulfill any need of any human body, it gives us pleasure. Just to be alive is enough. Feel the pleasure to be alive, the pleasure of the feeling of love. Prayer for freedom. Today, Creator of the universe, we ask that you come to us and share with us a strong communion of love. We know that your real name is love, that to have a communion with you means to share the same vibration, the same frequency that you are, because you are the only thing that exists in the universe. Today, help us be like you are, to love life, to be life, to be love. Help us to love the way you love, with no conditions, no expectations, no obligations, without any judgment. Help us to love and accept ourselves without any judgment, because when we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty and we need to be punished. Help us to love everything you created unconditionally, especially other human beings, especially those who are around us, all our relatives and people whom we try so hard to love. Because when we reject them, we reject ourselves. And when we reject ourselves, we reject you. Help us to love others just the way they are with no conditions. Help us to accept them the way they are, without any judgment, because if we judge them, we find them guilty, we blame them, and we have the need to punish them. Today, clean our hearts of any emotional poison that we have. Free our minds from any judgments so that we can live in complete peace and complete love. Today is a very special day. Today we open our hearts to love again so that we can tell each other, I love you, without any fear and really mean it. Today we offer ourselves to you. Come to us. Use our voices, use our eyes, use our hands, and use our hearts to share ourselves in a communion of love with everyone. Creator, help us to be just like you are. Thank you for everything that we receive this day, especially for the freedom to be who we really are. Amen.